Warm greetings. Today is Friday, July 5th, 2024. This is meteorologist Ruben Garcia. At the time of recording this video, it is 5 p.m. local time in Texas. Preparation should begin due to the threat posed by Hurricane Beryl, which is expected to hit this region on Sunday night or Monday morning. Hurricane Beryl was downgraded to a tropical storm after passing over the Yucatán Peninsula early this morning as a Category 2 hurricane, causing significant wind-related damage, particularly in coastal areas of northern Quintana Roo. Throughout today, the circulation has been moving across the state of Yucatán, weakening to a tropical storm. However, it is now near the Gulf of Mexico, where it is expected to reorganize and intensify as it approaches southern and eastern Texas. As mentioned in this morning's video, we were closely monitoring if the storm would take a more northward path and move over the Gulf of Mexico faster than anticipated, which could significantly alter the trajectory projections. This indeed happened today, with the storm's center moving more northwest than expected, resulting in less time over the Yucatán Peninsula and potentially reaching the Gulf of Mexico stronger. This implies it could come closer to central eastern Texas. Viewing the infrared satellite animation, we see that Tropical Storm Beryl currently has a small area of thunderstorms near its center, which is normal given its position over land. However, once it reaches the Gulf of Mexico, we will likely see thunderstorms redevelop near the center, beginning the reorganization and intensification process as it moves northwestward. Currently, tropical storm winds still affect northern Yucatán, but weather conditions will improve tonight. Considering these changes, let's look at the new trajectory projections. There is a general consensus that Beryl will maintain a northwestward path for the next 48 hours before taking a more north-northwest turn, eventually approaching Corpus Christi by Monday morning and moving over eastern Texas and into Missouri, where heavy rain and flooding are expected. I will show the total expected rainfall accumulations in these areas shortly. There remains some uncertainty regarding intensity. Models project further weakening over the next 24 hours, but they likely assumed a longer stay over Yucatán. Therefore, these models may soon predict a more aggressive strengthening. The National Hurricane Center projects that Beryl could reach Texas as a Category 1 or nearly Category 2 hurricane, and mentions uncertainty in these projections, not ruling out the possibility of it reaching Category 3. Several factors will determine how strong Beryl gets upon reaching Texas. Firstly, the center will move over the Gulf of Mexico faster than anticipated, allowing more time over warm waters. Significant strengthening is not expected within the next 24 hours due to the storm's current weak state and an upper-level trough creating shear over Beryl, which should continue for the next 24 hours. However, this trough will move southwestward and weaken, reducing shear by Sunday as Beryl heads toward Texas. Moreover, an upper-level wind pattern expected northeast of Beryl's center could help ventilate the storm, allowing it to strengthen rapidly as it approaches the coast. We must monitor how strong Beryl could get, and whether it will take a more southern path toward Texas or a parallel path along the coast, which would allow more time over water and thus more intensification. Ocean surface temperatures are very warm in this region, especially just east of Texas, the warmest in the Atlantic, potentially aiding intensification if Beryl moves parallel to the coast. Looking at the National Hurricane Center's official forecast, Beryl is projected to arrive as a Category 1 hurricane with sustained winds of 90 miles per hour on Monday afternoon. A hurricane watch is in effect from northern Tamaulipas to central eastern Texas. The center also mentions potential eastward adjustments to the trajectory, putting Galveston and Houston at greater risk. All residents of southern and eastern Texas should prepare for a Category 1 or 2 hurricane. Now, let's examine some global model projections. But first, I want to invite you to subscribe to my channel. Go to the bottom of the video and click the red button that says subscribe, and then click the bell so you get notifications when I record new videos. Let's start by looking at the GFS model projection animation. You can see that the GFS model currently projects that the center of circulation could enter near or over Corpus Christi during Monday morning as a Category 1 hurricane. Eventually, the circulation would move north-northeast, affecting eastern Texas and southern Missouri. In fact, the GFS model has been quite consistent in recent runs, showing the center of circulation entering near the city of Corpus Christi. Also, look at the rainfall accumulations projected by the GFS, which range from 5 to 9 inches along the path of future Hurricane Beryl, potentially causing significant flooding across eastern Texas. On the other hand, the European model's latest run has had a significant change, as it now moves this disturbance much more to the right than shown in previous runs. It now has a Category 2 or Category 3 hurricane moving between Corpus Christi and Houston, and arriving around midday Monday. So, this is a possibility, and the reason why the National Hurricane Center mentions that new trajectory adjustments might be made. In fact, notice the trend in the European model, which with each run shows this cyclone moving more to the right or east. Therefore, it is important that the entire Texas coast prepares for the impact of a hurricane. Additionally, the European model agrees with the GFS model in terms of projected rainfall. showing between 5 to 10 inches of rain along the path of Hurricane Beryl, affecting eastern Texas where significant flooding could occur. It also shows between 4 to 6 inches of rain for southern and central Missouri. Another possible scenario we cannot rule out yet is that it could even reach as a Category 3 hurricane, which is precisely what the German model projection shows. It has a much more eastern trajectory, allowing the center of circulation to stay over water for longer, and eventually, during Monday morning, it moves the center of circulation very close to or over the city of Galveston and Houston. In this case, it shows a Category 3 hurricane. So overall, we have a lot of confidence that it will head towards the Texas coast. There is still some uncertainty about the exact point where the center of circulation will enter. The further west it moves, it will likely arrive as a Category 1 hurricane, while if it takes a more eastern trajectory, it could arrive as a Category 2 or even Category 3 hurricane. So there's a lot to watch over this weekend. In addition to wind and rain, remember that these disturbances bring a risk of tornado development. This risk will be present along eastern Texas on Sunday and Monday. Also, high surf and dangerous rip currents can occur across all Gulf of Mexico states, so be very cautious if you are visiting Gulf of Mexico beaches from Florida, Mississippi, Alabama, Louisiana, and Texas. Well, that's all for this video. Before I go, I want to invite you to support my project by clicking the blue Join button, where you can find different types of sponsorships. With a small monthly contribution, you can support Hurricane Info and receive some additional benefits. Well, for now, I'll say goodbye. Tomorrow morning, I'll record a new video to update this forecast.